Hi, I'm Alan Chen, and I'm the owner of the Lightning Gravity Gaming Company, and I'm trying to make a YouTube tutorial on the Game Maker software bu- with making the player square movement task. Um, well, I did not really add any much API links down here because it's a lot of stuff at once that's happening. Uh, I have learned one of the things that the default script while loop, step while loop, is same thing as the script on the side toolbar. It's inside your own gamer interface at your right hand side. So this script, you can add in a script within within here or something. It's in a script one, uh, like step instead. So what I learned is that your object character can be sometimes like add one step because step is the while loop that can add any task as you want, such as like event, anything as well, and within one while loop of step. So it's same thing as script. So you can put anything in script down here instead. So it's same thing as step as well. But so far, I've created that works within a kind of a pixel square size, 32. Well, this is 16. With it is 32. I find out what is the pixels of it is 16 pixels is equal to 24 square unit size of numbers. This is an integer number, and this is the pixel size of movement. Um, I mean, pixel size of a sprite. So it's 32 divided by 2 equal to 16, and which is equal to exactly the same names number when I play tested from before, which I'm going to show you a bit afterwards. And this is um, the counting by one square movement. 1 second move per 1 second square movement within 32 pixels. Uh, is 0.6 square units. So you plus this at every 32, I think is 16. Never mind. It's 16 down here. Here are pixels. I have to correct this. So because yeah, it's 16. Because yeah, because I realized that this white sprite is not 32. It was this one 32. Well, this one is 30, um, 32 divided by 2 equals 16 pixels, and 16 pixels plus half of the center, plus the right hand side only, not the left hand side of this asymmetrical half is 24 square, so it should be right. Yeah, she's supposed to be 30, not 32, 16 instead. So yeah, you have to estimate playtesting it as accurate as you can. So when I playtest, it will work. So what does it mean by square unit? It's by like kind of a Pokemon map with like only one square unit perfectly. Like I can play like this with my mouse. It will kind of looks like almost yeah, it looks exactly the same. Like when I move within a distance, it will land it right on the same exactly grid. Good as yeah. So Yeah, and within your movement, within 1 second, it won't switch it around on so it won't give you error and switch it around like on error by accident unless it's finished. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So unless you finish, and so this is 16 pixels. This is 32 pixels. So yeah, before I thought it was 32, so now corrected. When you touch it, it should be exactly the same pixels. When I calculate this, the what the pattern looks like. So Control Shift Exit to do Task Manager, and instead of an exit button and stop. Yeah, so it's not wrong. So I'm teach you my algorithm. What it looks like. Need to put a center. So this half not a quarter, half. So not the corner, a quarter. So half of this is the 16 bytes. So 16 bytes equal to 24 numbers. It's not a pixel. So px is equal to pixels. So first of all, before I create layer instance with this string with a quotation, is that I'm trying to divide width and height of the full screen. So you put this white dot in the middle, and I try to divide this by 10. It's supposed to be kind of like this, the really full screen, but divide by 10 because when it's too big, it looks like it's moving really slow for your own video game because Pokemon Game Boy game is like a very big screen. I mean, very small screen on real life Game Boy. So it looks really small until it stops. And remember, within between 1 second cannot change the position till it finish landing and refresh every 1 second. So this is, I think, it's my fourth hardest coding task I've ever done. The fourth one is the first two. One is Java coding that without any third-party software or any cheating with video editing. So this is at least full screen first, but I start creation code instead of the while loop or something afterwards. So I'll create this one first. So the timing is considered a second reset. I'm not sure recession is a real word. Well, we set so your kind of algorithm is not counting by down only. It's more like counting down then reset. So it's considered as reset timing automatically by itself by default. So that's what your timing algorithm should looks like. And you should maybe put this down here. Start pressing is true before laying it down. Kind of like put it true back here again. Or pressing start, yeah, because um because y- um yeah um yeah so when it's true then you put it so you can so when you finish refreshing the countdown then you can just go back to true from here. So maybe you have double check, is it pressable? Yes. So and with this two and symbols. And remember, this is two or symbols, what I said from before in my last own YouTube videos. And this is two and. And you have to put it through false because you don't want to press it in the middle of the way. Right? And don't put this as like sec reset equal to zero. I mean equal to 10 seconds. Don't put it as 10 seconds boolean as representing as refresh because before it count down to 9 seconds, sometimes you press it too fast within the two arrow keys like up and then down within less than 1 second, then it will give automatically turn over to somewhere else. So get so turn to somewhere else like up and then down afterwards within 1 second if you press the button too fast. So remember, just put this as checking as true boolean, and then if you finish pressing it, it's false, so it won't press this at the same time with when it's false instead of within the same second. Problem errors. So put back to true down here when you finish resetting everything to the zero. When you count down to 10 seconds to 0 seconds. So remember that when you start playing this video game, you always start with creation code with 0 seconds. Uh, yeah, 1 second is okay. Um, because you know I done some shooting video game on RPG multiple player online pretty games. They count down to three. So so I can put this by default as kind of 3 or 10 before starting your own multiple online shooter video game arena game. Like you have to count down by 10 before starting a video game. So that's sort of the reason. So I'm starting with one. Instead of starting, you can press anything else you want. So 1 second is not that bad, but 10 seconds like before you get to start pressing the first button will maybe hard. Yeah, do you get what I mean? Like the middle of the screen saying 10, 9, 3, 2, 1, start, and you play a video game. That's the why reason that you have to do this thing is counted by 10. But I think 1 second is okay to cheat with instead of starting with like 10 seconds every single time or 3 seconds, like 3, 2, 1, go or something. Um, or get ready, set, go. Because the reason is that like kind of have to pop up like a middle of the kind of the ending way. You have to start counting it. Like I mean here, like after you finish pressing it, you'll start counting down instead of at the start. Well, it's hard to code at the start, starting from zero, because the playing algorithm is maybe a bit hard because you're not counting by seconds by flipping it like true and false in between it or something, or counting down by like flipping it 10 seconds down here and 10 seconds down here. It's not like that. It's more like refreshing or resetting it. So when you reset it, it pops up the number kind of. That's what it looks like. At least I kind of got it right. But this is my fourth hardest one. Coding. My third hardest one is my race. You see this a lot of coding at once. It's my first time learning curve kind of thing. Yeah, the first two Java is not a software engineering yet, but it's more like the two basic kind of Java tasks that I have done before. Uh, yeah, so remember to, I'm kind of saying everywhere. I kind of say out of order because it's a bit too confusing how to explain to you. And this has to be kind of max number, but I don't think so. Um, GameMaker language have the max value number. Um, I'm just not sure. So I'll put a random max number that is, I think it was 4 zeros in each of them. Yeah, at least. So it's equal to 50,000 instead. Uh, so remember, this is max value. It's not really supposed to be 50,000, but only Java have max value, I guess, and maybe Python is very important too. Yeah, that have max value, but I think Python is supposed to be used for a third party software language like the Maya language or the uh, 3D Max 3D animation stuff for for rigging characters or VFX visual effects like language, and Java is more like software engineering side. But this only good for very basic Java software engineering for very basic interface such as soft photoshopping around with Java, but it's just no good. Um, for business, yeah. Um, always remember put string um brackets. I think that's called. So instead of putting only global variable, else it won't work it's like this one. Without the string variable conversion, or because of this one, if you want to add in the quotation string with plus with the global variable, because you need to have the global variable, is because see it give you error because of step this string is does not have the thing. Yeah, so control Z to go back. Um, so six save. I think it's because of this global variable is not normal variable. That's why I had to put back to string. Um, yeah, remember task manager is control shift exit. And I was supposed to put this back to like smaller screen as a Pokemon screen size, but I'm purposely not put it as square as a Pokemon Game Boy screen because it's not supposed to be square in your desktop video game. I'm trying to purposely make a desktop video game afterwards. This is play script only. This is the object you can like short make the step code shorter because you cannot add another step code or cannot because step code is a very important while loop script code because it's the same thing as this script code that can make anything as you want. So you can add in this to check the action of your main character because you don't want your main character to like overfill of every like lines too much just to play one step code. That's really important. So it's really important to add any script code name as you want down here, and maybe you can check if statements like if I need running while kicking and do this animation and tasks or something like those that swing the kick or something of another object, something like those. And yeah, so check. So remember, this character is mostly this object one is mostly for check moving character, and this script is mostly for play task afterwards. If it's finished checking movement first, but I'm not doing this thing yet because I'm not doing a whole video game of character or doing animation stuff. So so remember put everything as false by default instead of while loop because if you put while loop by the first index down here, like tab to index upwards means right, I guess, and shift tab is kind of going back the index to left hand side. Um, so this is 16 pixels, because I said it before, this is only half the unit of the 32. That's the last lesson I've taught before, so this short instant what I played from before. Remember, this is how to explain it because it's kind of advanced for beginners. Well, it's at least for middle level for slightly normal, smarter people that have more time of studying on video game development. So remember to check press. Like, don't like move on countdown first before checking this because you don't want to count down before resetting it because you want to count down as soon as you press the button first. And remember and or and equal to check key boolean is if the same instead of single of them. And remember up is true. Don't just put in random subline. This is for more like refreshing it in case of errors I guess. But you don't have to have this because I put this already at the end. very end, false everything out at the end. Instead of by repressing it, the another button down here. As soon as I put this false down here, so I won't press it double clicking the button too much. Um, so same thing goes here. When this is true, it will leave this thing to true. You don't have to write equal sign to true every single time. Or yeah, remember, do you remember this is the as the whole, like true here, then true down here, then equal to true the whole thing. Then that will play down here only. And try to not play the whole entire rest of this at once. Um, yeah, I also give there, trying to make it encoding boolean as you need it, even down here. There's such thing as else if, as I tell you the truth. And then else down here. But I don't really need to have to do this because it's not really my yeah else without this one yeah without anything checking, like this is the whole entire thing, or it actually can like stop creating anything as it means this whole thing. But else if you can add as much you want, but this is the last one, which I don't think so you need to really add it afterwards, because this is the more like the so control Z to go and do everything. So the else one, let me control shift Z to go forward. Um, else it means that more like the extra one that you don't really know what you're doing, or maybe some extra one as a duplicate code. Like my hardest one is that I've ever done is threaded tree list with duplicates that count duplicates. So and instruction everything in order with threaded tree that goes diagonal instead of going left and right only. It's like an imagination line. Yeah, that's my hardest university level or college level instead of mech engineering skills yet. Um, so doesn't do everything. Yeah. My control Z. If it's mech engineering, it's hard enough that I should at least know some memorizing working skills up to like tens of thousands of pages within a few months or several months, because there's a lot of computers real scientists. Instead of starting out to be a doctor that know about like some life science how it works yet, like yeah stuff like really doctor does, like investigating about plants and animals. Instead of starting really futuristic math scientists, medical doctors, how it works and stuff that detailing those yeah. Um so yeah so this is countdown function that always work as soon you start with this. So as soon this is true, then this will start. That's what I kind of said down here. As soon you it's ready to press, then put as false, so it won't repeat with another pressing the one button within 9 seconds. Stuff like those problem. So this is non-stop counting function. It's just a very normal function that's count non-stopping by default. Count just the very normal counting down function. Yeah. So this is a normal count. This only this part is counting down one function. So I said divided by two from before. I wasn't say times one down here, which is same, which is 100% of this, which is still the same. So I wasn't by put 19 because I wasn't like overthink or something. I think it was divided by two is make more sense. But I double checked this number. It kind of makes sense as well because I checked it by playtesting on the interface. It looks true, not like the whole entire back end like company, some kind of secret code in the machine language that cannot be seen or something that you have to know a lot of signs and meet the requirement to do those company stuff. Like backend that cannot be seen in front end, like such a server programming is like it's maybe really hidden some kind of work that only registered corporation can do some backend stuff. It's for security with PHP codes stuff. Except for web hoster. I mean website builder that you don't need to like build your own server that badly with the server box and stuff. So yeah, I think the server coding part, like PHP coding, that's the one of the most basic server coding that I cannot do because I do not meet the requirement for any server programming yet. Um, yeah, because it might need to wear it's worse enough that I had to wear a shirt for another company just to get those back-end machine code for its own server, built-in server as a server box or something like those. That's what it might seem like to me. Um, yeah, so remember this is reset addition coding. That's more like holding on your timing only down here because you do not count down first before you press it afterwards. So when you finish counting down, remember to um yeah um yeah I forgot to comment this. um yeah I forgot to comment this why I put this really weird one. It's kind of like you don't count down when this is looks like zero, equal to zero, or anything with um counting down until it's zero. Like counting anything down greater set reset that is greater than zero until is equal to zero. If you just minus that even more, like this one is going to minus down even more than that zero, then you could negative one, which is give it error. So Um, because if this is negative, if this thing gives negative one, because this you put this down zero, zero minus one equals this zero. If you put this, if this is zero and this, if you're counting in the zero from the Boolean true statement, then you zero minus one or something down here. Minus equal to minus one at a time within our for loop. So equals to yeah, not this one, equal to minus one instead of zero. So always remember to put or will always need to double check if is greater than the if always need to double check is greater than the one first before. No, this is good. This is real. Okay, it's hard to explain in words. Yeah, in spelling words. I mean, we'll always need to double check if is greater than the zero first before taking it away the last zero into the negative one number. Let's put zero, guys. It's so much easier. So don't minus the zero last one left, or else it gives you a -1, which it gives you a small error. Um, we'll always, yeah. Yeah, so if it's -1, it won't work unless it's 0. So we set it to 1 afterwards, and we're gonna put true so I can press it again without counting it, without you can count it by yeah, by minusing 1 seconds. Minusing within 1 second every single time, because sometime before finish minusing 1 second, it can be still pressable. Um, yeah, still pressable if it's still not counting down to 9 yet. If it's because 1 second can be slow if you keep on slamming in the buttons too fast that or get used to playing the video game too comfortably, then you forget that you can press another button within 1 second timing problem. Yeah, yeah, and remember that Unity gaming software and Unreal Engine gaming software need some back-end, maybe second, like countdown data time or something to kind of machine language to use keyboard buttons. You don't just, yeah, but game makers don't need that advanced as Unreal Engine and Unity buttons, so I can use the keyboard anytime I like. Remember, this is just the keyboard up, keyboard down, right? Not the anything special with other keyboard stuff. So I think I've done my show for today, and yeah. So one click, and I click without holding it. Even though I hold it, I want to tell you, holding it, you can, yeah, I can hold it. Yeah, I can hold in the button so it can work, kind of a Pokemon game. But I'm not sure how to speed this thing up a lot. So yeah, I can hold this button so it won't stop going unless you stop holding it for 1 second. It. But yeah. So yeah, but I think about I need to figure out how to make this character move faster in animation. Else my phone video game, PC video game will be too slow somehow. So maybe that's my next test, coding test, I guess, to move this character faster without moving the square pixels all wrong within this idea of measurement that I measure it pretty accurately, precisely, I guess. So I think I end my pretty too long video game again, YouTube video. So I think I'm done. See ya.